Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. If you guys know anything about Tim Hardaway, killer crossover, one of the stars from the 90s, and he recently made a visit to Gil's Arena, where these guys are known for taking a dump on players from the 90s, especially Gilbert Arenas himself. So they invited on Tim Hardaway, and Tim Hardaway came on there with that energy, right? He came prepared for this to give him a smoke, and he said that a lot of the players in the 90s told him that when he goes to that platform, you make sure you let those dudes know what we think about them. And to give him his credit, he went on there and kept that energy with them. He was like, you couldn't play my era, you was in all that and this, and I'm like, yo, damn. He going off, right? Like, son is really going off. But I didn't see his entire segment. But apparently, there was a part where he started to talk about LeBron's clutch gene or lack thereof. Now, we all know when we think about clutch players in NBA history, some of the players that come to mind are Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. That's a no-brainer. When you think about Kobe, you think about clutch. When you think about Jordan, you definitely think about clutch. I mean, hell, Jordan had arguably the best two-way play in the history of the NBA, with that play in Utah in Game 6 when he stole the ball from Malone. With that defensive play, came back and hit the game winner to seal his sixth championship in Game 6. Bro, it doesn't get any more legendary than that. So MJ is clutch, but so is Kobe. Now, some of these LeBron fans, these twerking-ass LeBron fans don't even know it. They think LeBron, bro, look, Kobe Bryant has the most game winners in NBA history. Kobe has 38 game winners. 38. That includes the playoffs and regular season. Game winners also include go-ahead shots, meaning I hit this shot with like 5 seconds left in the game. This was the shot that decided the game. Kobe has a total of 38. You don't believe me? You can go YouTube. There's a video I think that used to be up. It could still be up there that has all 38 game winners. I'm not sure if it's still there. Okay, so actually, let me get into where I heard these comments. We got them from a fadeawayworld.net article, which says the following headline: Tim Hardaway goes off on LeBron James for needing teammates to make clutch shots. Whew. Tim Hardaway made a lot of headlines with his appearance on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. When speaking about the Los Angeles Lakers and Luka Doncic's chances in the playoffs, Hardaway randomly took a shot at LeBron James for not making clutch shots like other legendary players. Hardaway added that James turned to Kyrie for help to win a championship. I'm taking OKC over the Lakers. Luka can't stop you from making shots. If you have a team that you can't stop from making shots and you go on the other end and you know that you have a guy on the other end that's making shots like Luka, like Kobe, like Mike, and like Michael. You see, I didn't name LeBron because he can't do it. Like Kyrie Irving, like Steph, I'm just telling the truth. When I need a basket, I can't go to you. He couldn't go to himself. Who did he go for the game? He had to go to Kyrie. Now, here's the interesting part. Listen to the article. This is such a tired narrative against LeBron James. The former four-time MVP has hit several clutch shots and made big plays in key moments during his career. However, because he chooses to pass the ball to open teammates in the final moments of games on occasion, he is labeled as not clutch and afraid of the moment. James has consistently maintained that he will make the best play for his team and trust his teammates. When the team loses, James gets slandered for not taking the shot himself. And when his team wins off the back of a teammate's shot that he sets up, James' influence of the game is completely discredited. The legendary Ford is in a can't win situation. All right, stop your nonsense. Who wrote this article here? Let me call you out. Who wrote this article? This is written by okay, I can't pronounce his name. Anyway, stop your nonsense. Stop your nonsense immediately. Okay? Cease with it. This is where the narrative comes from. LeBron, for the first 10 years of his career, was known to not like to go to the free throw line late in games because he didn't want to get fouled. Because whenever he would get fouled, he would go up there and clunk shots at the rim. There are videos of LeBron airballing free throws. I think LeBron tried to shoot a free throw with his eyes open and airballed it in, and Jordan shot a free throw with his eyes closed and made it. You have that. You have what happened in the finals in 2011 when he collapsed. You have all of those situations where he was playing in all-star games, in multiple all-star games against Kobe, where he tried to make the right play at the last second and turned the ball over, was afraid to shoot. So this is a part of LeBron's legacy as well. That's where it comes from. The other place it comes from is because of his game. LeBron doesn't have a mid-range go-to game. LeBron isn't. You seldom see LeBron get the ball at the top of the key, dribble, call off the pick or whatever it is, break his defender down, go right, pull up on a dime, shoot, go left, pull up on it. He rarely does it. Can he do it on occasion? Yes, he does. Does he do it consistently? No. Now, why do people also feel that? Is because those other guys have better ISO games. And in clutch moments, they have go-to shots. They have a myriad of shots. Kobe does. Go look at Kobe's game-winning shots. As I told you at the beginning of the video, he has 38 of them. It's a myriad of shots. He's not just one shot, putting his head down, bullying his way to the basket. Kobe creates shots at every angle. I've seen a shot against the Milwaukee Bucks. He came down the court, backed him down, shook him up, turned around, fade away, game winner. He has a whole bunch of hit the mic. He has a whole bunch of different shots. So that's where that comes from. So ain't nobody picking on no damn LeBron James. We're going off of the evidence, son. Stop with your crying. Stop with your whining. Now, I got to say this too. I don't want to hear nothing about these people complaining about what Tim Hardaway said, because when you dudes are up there and they're trashing Michael Jordan and all of these guys from the past, y'all be loving it. So take it on the chin and shut the hell up. If you're able to dish it out, you should be able to take it. Our channel is called, where I'm referred to as one of the biggest LeBron haters in the independent space, right? A lot of people come to our channel on a daily basis. Oh, man, another LeBron video. Oh, you can't stand LeBron. I can't stand it. You can't stand LeBron and this and this and this, right? So people always coming at me. Why don't you just give him his love and this and this? And I'm like, look, everybody out there is always twerking it up for him on TV. So, do you want all of us to be twerking? You trying to collect us like these damn infinity stones? Like, what's going on? But nevertheless, these people never relent. So what happened? This morning, I was doing some research and I came across an article from Awful Announcing that was reacting to Stephen A. Smith's comments on something that JJ Redick had to say. Now, first of all, let me just say this. JJ Redick is doing a much better job than I expected with the Lakers. They're playing really, really good basketball. They just came off a very, very impressive win against the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic looked like a lost soul out there in that last game. I don't know what happened with him. But with that being said, I'm still not a fan of JJ Redick. I'm not a supporter of his, and I'm not going to be supporting the Lakers as long as LeBron is there. I've made my feelings crystal clear about this. So as I was saying, as I was going through the internet, I came across this article, and essentially it's this clip of JJ Redick post game after LeBron scored 40 points. I believe it was after that Portland game, if I'm not mistaken. And as he's talking about LeBron James, JJ Redick then says out of his own mouth, I guess this is what kids will call glazing, right? This is what they will call glazing. Glazing means that basically you twerking it up for this particular guy out there, this particular player, whatever. You glazing him, right? Whenever you see these posts, you see people with like the donuts and the glaze and all of that on these Bleacher Report Instagram posts, just different posts, right? People always cracking jokes about that. And he was essentially saying that LeBron James doesn't get enough praise, right? Which didn't sit well with Stephen A. Smith, because Stephen A. Smith is basically saying, look, LeBron James gets praise all day long. Like, he gets praise all day long. Hell, even I was praising LeBron going into that game against the Denver Nuggets, where I thought he was absolutely just going to go out there and ball out. Ended up being Luke. Okay, so now what I want to do is I actually want to get into this sound, right, of JJ Redick talking about his glazification, and then we're going to play what Stephen A. Smith had to say in response to JJ Redick. So take a listen to what these guys had to say here, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to these guys.
He really just defies anything that's normal, and not just the physical feats and the plays. It's the mentality. He is, again, I believe I saw the other day, he's a billionaire. And he's playing on the second night of a back-to-back at 40 after 22 years with every frickin' record and every accolade. And the kids will say that I'm glazing him. He's one of the greatest competitors.
Okay. Stephen A., what are your thoughts about what JJ just had to say about LeBron?
Number one, I like the glasses, Molly. Keep them on.
Thank
Number
you,
two,
they're new.
I got to tell you this.
I can't see anything. I have a
I know.
stigmatism.
That's why I was teaching. I know you can't see with them on all the time. JJ Redick didn't tell a lie. He said the absolute truth. I just hope that he wasn't talking as if somebody didn't notice that or people haven't said that about LeBron James. When have people not said that about LeBron James? Matter of fact.
2 days ago?
What did we say 2 days ago? What did we miss? What did we say 2 days ago?
Everybody was on him for not playing in the All-Star game. And,
time out.
JJ's just pointing out that
Two things could be true. Two things could be true. I'll still get on him for not playing the All-Star game. He should have played. He should have dressed, and he should have played even if it was just for a few minutes. He absolutely should have played. All of a sudden, the ankle and the foot injury doesn't seem that bad. Not over the last two games, right? If you could do it then, you probably could have played a few minutes on Sunday. That's all I'm saying. But two things could be true. That could be true, while in the same breath, every syllable that J.J. Redick uttered about him is true.
So you heard what they had to say, okay? What are my thoughts? Well, look. Does LeBron James not get praised enough? I think it's a crazy question to ask. You got people all over TV twerking it up for LeBron. You got a whole bunch of independent creators that twerk it up for LeBron. And then you have LeBron fans who find other people's channels that are not fans of LeBron and then ask them, hey, why aren't you twerking for LeBron? LeBron gets praised every single day. Stephen A. Smith came out there and scolded him for how he behaved at the All-Star weekend. The very next games, LeBron, I think, scored that 40 points that J.J. Redick is alluding to. Stephen A. Smith came out the very next day and said, I'm going to give my LeBron James his flowers. He's the second greatest player of all time. Who are we kidding here with this thing of LeBron doesn't get enough praise? I'm lost by this. Everybody praises him. Skip Bayless is out of a job on TV, so there's no more Skip Bayless out there. Who are the people that are not praising LeBron James? Every time you go to Instagram, you go to NBA on ESPN, NBA, ESPN, Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, you're going to see a LeBron post. Hell, I think it's on House of Highlights. They have a post pinned on their page with LeBron and Bronny. What point are we making here by saying that LeBron doesn't get praise? He gets praised all the time. I think the issue is these twerking ass LeBron fans want you to just be up there twerking it up all day long, and some of us refuse to. We don't have lifetime supplies of honey in our pantries. I'm sorry, we just don't have it. We're not gonna twerk that much with you. Now, if he has a fantastic game, which he did, then you say, hey man, the guy played very well. But we ain't just gonna be up here twerking it up all day long. I mean, God, these guys have been twerking for you guys for how many years now? What more do you want? What more do you want? So for J.J. Redick to suggest that people don't praise LeBron enough is laughable. There's so many LeBron guys in media, we've all lost count. Like they're littered all over FS1 and ESPN. So personally, I don't know what the hell what is it J.J. Redick is talking about. I think LeBron is getting enough praise, but it doesn't mean that sometimes you can't be critical of him. If the guy does something wrong, you should be able to say it. Unless you're saying you're just supposed to give him positive comments, and if he does anything negative, just turn a blind eye to it. No, we recently went off on LeBron on our channel. I believe it was on Saturday for the story that we heard about him disrespecting Larry Bird to his face. You got to call that out. There must be the balance to that too. We can't just let things like that just slide by and act like as if we didn't see that. Nah, we saw that, and we're going to call it out. I just came across a wonderful audio here that I got from a recent visit that All the Smoke podcast, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes did on Gil's Arena. They did a show where they had a bunch of different NBA players come on, like Tim Hardaway, these guys. I think Joakim Noah, or I could be wrong. I forgot who else came, but they had a bunch of guys. I don't know where they shot these series of shows. Anyway. So they brought on Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, right? And they brought them on there to talk about how All the Smoke started, Do NBA players love the game? Where's the league right now? A whole bunch of different things. So Rashad McCants, shout out to Rashad McCants. He brought it up in a slick type way where he was talking about how with Gil's Arena and so many other player podcasts, they can go out there and have these unfiltered conversations and give you guys a real takes on what NBA players feel about certain topics like the greatest players of all time. And he brought up the thing about Kobe Bryant, right? And I was like, this is interesting, right? Because now we have a different set of NBA players on this show, because usually when I say I got Kobe here, and I'm arguing back and forth for Gil, they'll hit you with the, oh man, you ain't playing the NBA, so shut up. You ain't playing the NBA. So it's quite refreshing when you see other NBA players come out here and express views that are similar to mine. And I'm like, well, interesting. Well, they played in the NBA too. So how does it work now, right? So they were talking, and then Rashad McCants, in a slick way, brings up the thing about where does these guys rank, Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. And they asked Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes to kind of rank them. And let me just say what he said kind of left some of those guys on the set not feeling too comfortable. And those guys, I mean by Gilbert Arenas. Take a listen to what these guys had to say here.
We can really debate this we talking in the mother basement. We all going back and forth. You know, like a question like, hey man, is it Kobe or is it LeBron?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
It's Kobe.
You know what I'm saying? Is it Kobe? Like some of us know that answer right off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when we had that conversation though,
Matt,
it gets real uncomfortable,
like
don't
Kobe?
I mean, he was a killer. His body of work, he rode the ship till the ship sunk. He didn't make a move to go chase nothing. The work he put in, the teams he took there, to be able to do it without Shaq, to be able to play through the injuries I seen him play through, he was just a killer. All around, and again, that's not knocking what LeBron has been able to accomplish, because he's, to me,
Nah, we can't do that.
I feel like
we in the Bay, we get it.
I feel like you can. I feel the three greatest players of all time are MJ, Kobe, and Bron. So to me, you can throw any of those three up, and however you slot them, I don't have an issue with that. But it's weird that I feel like the outside, the non-athlete media always kind of leaves Kobe out of the top 5 or sometimes the top 10, and it's crazy because the guys that played with him or against him understand what he was about, understand that drive and that killer he had. But again, to me, that's not knocking, because I think Kobe is ahead of Bron. That doesn't mean I dislike Bron. I think Bron is incredible, and for him to still be doing what he's done and the doors he's opened, and he's got his son on the team, and he's going to be an owner. He's going to be the owner of the Vegas franchise when that like he's done. We normally don't get opportunities to do. So I think as far as on and off the court, I think Bron is probably the all-time GOAT, but I just think when it comes to basketball, I think it's MJ, Kobe, and then Bron is a respectful third.
All day long.
So you heard what they had to say. You heard what they had to say. Okay. Matt Barnes said he ranks Kobe above LeBron. So did Steven Jackson. Now, I know for LeBron fans, that's a little weird, right? And they'll probably say, oh, Steven Jackson is a hater of LeBron. Oh, Matt Barnes is a hater of LeBron. Okay, fine, fair enough. But then couldn't I turn around and say, well, all of those guys that rank LeBron over Kobe are haters of Kobe? Isn't that plausible? I mean, if you're saying that these guys are haters of LeBron, hence the reason they're ranking Kobe over him, then can I say the same thing? The second thing, they didn't even mention stats. Now, stats are a funny thing. And I was watching a clip from Too Raw. He was mentioning this today, Too Raw for TV. But we all know this. Like Kenny Smith said, there are 3 types of lies. There are lies, damn lies, and stats. Stats can tell you any story they want you to tell. They want to tell you. It's one of the reasons why this guy, one of these jokers, went up there on ESPN a number of years ago and tried to put up a stat that said, what's the player that he said is more clutch than Kobe Bryant? One role player. And then he's like, well, he said, look, the stats show that Dirk Nowitzki is more clutch than Kobe, but at the top of this list, it was a role player. He just picked a certain set of stats that would paint whatever narrative he wanted, and Tracy McGrady called him on it. Like, bro, no, explain that. He couldn't explain it, right? This is the reason why it's important to take in the eye test. I'm not just saying Kobe's better because of numbers. I'm not saying LeBron is not as good as Kobe because of numbers. I'm saying it because I saw them both play. I saw them play. And when you watch players play, you will understand what the hell is going on. You can't evaluate a game or do a post-game analysis of a game that you didn't watch and try to tell a story from the box score. No. That doesn't tell the story. It doesn't. When you watch the game, then you add in the stats. The stats give it context to what you're watching. But the footage is where it lies. And these guys know when they watch the footage and they play against Kobe, they know he's better. Period. Even LeBron said Kobe was better than him. All the way to 2010. LeBron was saying that. I know that's a shocker because lion-ass Draymond Green and Nick Wright and all of them are talking about LeBron, the best player when he got in the NBA. How? How was he the best player the moment he walked into the NBA? He didn't even make the All-Star team as a rookie. What are we talking about? LeBron walked into the NBA. He was better than AI. He was better than Tim Duncan. He was better than Shaq. He was better than Vince Carter. He was better than Paul Pierce. He was better than Kobe Bryant. Like, yo, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing right now? So what I loved was the fact that they got another set of NBA players to come on there and give you a different view. That's what it should be. You should get different people with different views and get them to talk about the sport. Don't just get a whole bunch of like-minded people in the room and create an echo chamber where all of you guys is just saying the same things. Right? It's one of the reasons why you will never see people like myself and others on ESPN. Ever. Because if we go up there and we start giving our views, it's going to be different in the narratives that they want to propagate. ESPN is the LeBron James network, just like CNN is for the Democrats or whatever, or the Fox News is for the conservatives and the Republicans. That's what ESPN is when it comes to this debate. And that's the reason why you can see a guy like PK Subban, I hope I pronounced his last name right. Somebody sent me the pronunciation of his name. He's making so much headlines. I picked Kobe up and they're like, what? They let him all out. Who let this guy in the room? Get him out of here. Bring in twerking ass somebody else. Let somebody else come and twerk. Give him some honey and twerk for us. You let him in here? He's not supposed to be saying that. This is going against the narrative. He's not twerking. He can't come back here. No, he's not allowed to be on this network. So look, that's what I enjoyed about it. And I have Kobe ahead of LeBron. I don't even have LeBron in my top 5 no more. I don't. That dude antics is way too much for me.